we're talking about children in need today, children who are facing challenges. And I talked about this report by Garza Machel, that war undermines the very foundation of children's lives, destroying their homes, splintering their communities, and breaking down their trusts in adults. Now, let's go to our first guest caller that we have invited to be on the show with us today. We have Safa Nabizada, who is a 70-year-old girl who has started a non-profit organization to support the children in war. Safa, assalamu alaikum, and peace and blessings of God be upon you. Welcome to the Drive Time Show. How are you today?
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, brilliant. I'm really impressed. I'm looking at, you're a 17-year-old girl who has started a non-profit organization to support children in war. First of all, at such a young age, tell us, what made you so passionate about supporting children in wars?
Well, I think as I've grown up, my mother has always instilled these values into our daily lives, and those values consist of being caring and considerate of others. So usually when one sees others suffering, when they hear stories or see it on TV, we try to avoid it because we it's hard to see others suffering, obviously. But my mother always thought that if we just ignore what's happening at home, it's selfish. So she always made sure that we remember everyone back home and use our privilege that God gave us to help them. And I always thought it was unfair to see that these humans were not getting basic life necessities. So I wanted to ensure them the life they deserve because they're human just like us, and especially children, because they don't have the same abilities and training as an adult. So they're the most vulnerable during times of war. So they're my main goal to help.
Right. That's extremely good and really important. But I wanted to ask you that at this age, running this organization, what does it require, and how do you do it? How do you get it done? What is it that you want to achieve as well with it?
Yeah, I think the main thing that my support system, which is my mother and my brother, they're behind me through all of this, so they help me a lot with this.
That's nice.
And basically what we do currently, we've collected many donations, and we've already ordered backpacks filled with school supplies for the children, so they could have school supplies in their schools, because most of their schools have been ruined because of war, and they're not able to have basic school supplies. So that's what we're focusing on right now. But yeah, I think my support system is my mom, and she's helped me a lot with this. And yeah, that's basically it.
That's brilliant. No, that's really good. I mean, if you have that support from family members, obviously that's really, really helpful. And hopefully this great effort that you're doing will increase, and people will learn about it, and maybe donate more and more towards this good cause.
Yes.
Thank you. Now tell us a little bit about children's situations in wars, how war affects their lives. I mean, I did briefly talk about education, that education is really important for children. It's a right for every child, but unfortunately that's taken away when wars and conflicts happen. But it's not just education, is it? It's also physical issues or emotional issues that come up, right?
Yeah, I believe war has a great negative effect on a child's life, and as you said, they're not only restrained from an education, but I think they lose a big part of their childhood, which is simply to be a child. They're not able to do basic childlike activities such as playing games on the streets with their neighbors because they don't have a safe environment. Instead, they're hiding in their homes, trying to protect themselves from the danger that's right outside their home. And this results into not only physical harm, but mental harm, emotional harm, because they develop fear and anxiety. And also these children are dependent on the care and attention their parents give them, but this relationship disrupts during war due to their parents either dying or as you said, being victims of war, or they're being too busy trying to protect their family.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And it is said that not being in education forces the children or the child in other problems, such as, child marriages, a child soldier, etc. Being exploited in workplaces, not being paid enough, or not being aware that they have rights and what they are supposed to be getting. What do you think of that? And what do you think? How does that impact children as well?
Well, that situation is extremely heartbreaking, and I think it just sets them back from being lifelong learners. They're not able to live an ideal life, and it sets them back from many things. I think they're just not able to focus on their future, and instead because as you said, they're child marriages or child soldier, or there's many children in labor because war has an economical issue, and many families lack money because of war. So their children are forced to work outside at such a young age. So I think that's also a main issue, and that also deprives them from education.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can small arrangements, Safa, like teaching at home, or things like that, help in this manner? What is it that an everyday person can do on an everyday basis? I mean to say, to help people, help children, because there are so many children that needs help. And one thing is obviously going to organizations on charities, but there are certainly things that we can do ourselves as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think ourselves, as in like the family themselves, it honestly depends on the knowledge of the parents. If they're able to encourage their children to be lifelong learners. I know that it may be difficult to have someone come to their home, obviously like a private teacher, because of the dangerous environments or lack of money the family has. But I'm pretty sure it depends on the parent themselves if they're able to arrange small things like this to help their children. So then yes, there can be small arrangements for the children to be encouraged to be long life learners.
That's right. Okay, perfect. We were in the finishing the holy month of Ramadan. Eid, and for many people are celebrating today. Some people are celebrating tomorrow. And in this time of this holy month, where the Prophet always used to do a lot of charity, and with Eid as well, it's a day of celebration for all Muslims across the world. But again, that is also a day that we should not forget those people who are in need, and children in need,
exactly.
of course. Is included in that. Safa Nabizada, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Jazakallah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
All right, 02